Except ngihamba nezamvele ungangihluphi. Tetele indoda yesekazi mina ngiyinkunzi. Ayeye, nami ngiyayifuna nawe uyayifuna.
Dude, I'm not a chef. Now I know, it's been a hot second. And it's actually crazy. I've received DMs of people saying, how, Gantuva. Some people saying, yeah, Baktoshile Samsung Kishin. Well, look, nigga! We still in the kitchen, we still out here, and we still cooking, man. It's Dude, I'm not a chef. Come on, Tulz with my dollar. Remember, like, share, subscribe. We had to come back with a bang. It's been quite a year, 2024. We've had some really interesting guests, the best of the best to do what they do. You know, your Corsies, your DDs. If you haven't checked them out, rewind, because this channel is amazing and it stays growing. I'm gonna get you exciting. Today's guest is a person you've definitely seen on your screens, whether it's Mzansi, whether it's a movie. I mean, it's endless. I had the pleasure of meeting this guy in varsity, and in one of my first classes, he was there staring at me, and I had to do a monologue. But we'll chop it up and you'll understand in just a bit. His name is Lemogang, Tsipa, aka Shaka, Zulu! What it is, sir?
Easy, my dog.
Thank you for coming.
It's only a pleasure.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to I'm Not a Chef.
Yes, sir.
You and I have lived together.
We have.
I don't want to rate your cooking. You rate your cooking.
Wow,
People.
wow. So some of the best cooking we had when we lived together came from these amazing hands. Very talented. This man, many meals. I taught him so many recipes. He used one of them on Big Brother.
Usually all of his foods go into one pot, but we're going to test that theory out.
Yeah.
Today we're making pepper steak pie.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever made pie before?
No.
You're a fan of pie?
Shamrock.
Shamrock, what are you, 67? You back with Netback?
Shamrock pies are the best pies in South Africa, firstly.
The brand, sorry, in my brain when you said Shamrock, I thought Cornish. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, Shamrock.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
Shamrock.
man.
Yeah. But they don't make Shamrock in.
No, don't worry. We travel. Eastern Cape. Worldwide.
Shout out to Shamrock. It is out in the Eastern Cape. Look, it's gonna be our version of it. A quick run through the ingredients. We've got eggs, because when you bake anything, you need to like sort of do an egg wash so it shines and looks good. Something I've never done before is throwing the onions into water. Now this is an idea presented by Lemo. Lemo, you care to explain how this works?
Look, as a master chef myself, I know you're not a chef, but as a master. So no, it's something I saw. I think it was one of those weird online hacks. If you dip your onion in water and wash it a bit, it reduces the amount of tearing.
Okay, well, will Shaka Zulu cry or I'm not a chef? Stick around. We're cooking. All right, a quick run through the ingredients. As mentioned, we've got red onion. Why red, you might ask? Why white? All right. We got some real nice beef. We got mushrooms, egg as mentioned, and garlic. And then you need your pastry. No time wasted. Let's start cooking. My bro, you said you can cook. Can you finally chop these onions for me?
How fine are we talking? Are we talking millimeter fine or?
As fine as your mother on Shaka.
Wow.
That's Nomzamobata, by the way. Bro, I'm gonna ask you straight into it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. I know this because, I mean, shit, we went to varsity together.
Yes, sir.
You've been making music for the past 10 years, right?
Even longer. So I started being a musician at the tender age of 11.
Tender age, love that.
Yeah. So it's been a couple of, how old am I now? 33, so 22 years of being a musician.
22 years of being a musician.
Wow.
So you've been a musician longer than you've been an actor.
Yeah, much longer. I just haven't released stuff. I haven't like been an artist that's out there. And I've kind of suffered the thing of being a bedroom artist, but not for much longer.
Yeah.
So
So you're a guy who's born and raised in KZN. You go to AFTA, you're studying acting. And one thing about you, bro, and it might sound like a diss, but I'll say it. You used to dress like shit. Like,
no, that was on purpose.
one day I approached him like, bro, why on earth do you rock like this? Why do you dress like this? And your response was, because one day I'm going to be famous. I don't need to be dressing up like this today. Damn, the foresight. Here we are years later.
Oh, sorry. These old rags.
And I haven't seen you in Crocs in years. If you're from after, comment down if you've seen Lemo rocking Crocs.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to your thought process in that lifetime and being in a space where everyone thinks they're cool and they have money, but
Yeah.
having the confidence to just wear Crocs and jeans and a t-shirt.
No, man, if you're aware of, you know, who you are and what you want from life, I think that's the problem a lot of people have. It isn't the fact that you aren't good enough. It's just a lot of people aren't clear on their major objective, you know, in life, and I really was. So that's where I really got all my confidence from, and it was almost a deluded thing, but like I was very, very sure that I'd be in the position I'm in today.
I thought you would this nigga's crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you were there, it slowly happened. People saw it. You started getting movies and shows while you were still studying.
Yeah. I think
Explain that. Was it because you were good or was it because of your relations? I mean, it's one thing to be good, but people that are in nice positions always say there's more, right?
I think it's a combination of both. I think there definitely has to be a level of skill involved and a lot of hard work. But then I was also one that understood that a large part of the business is the networking, and I wasn't afraid to go carry sandbags, go, you know, be a PA for multiple people. And once I got the opportunity to tell them, yo, you know, that acting thing, I can also do it. So I did get a few breaks like that, but I've always been very involved in the business and trying to get to know as many people as possible, because I think you're only as strong as your network. You know, if you're the most talented person but you know nobody,
then what's the point?
A very untalented person that knows the person that says yes, you know, the untalented person will win more times than not. So I try to be a combination of a talented person that, you know, with an expansive network.
And I mean, obviously during this time, we're all young people. We've all got vision, dreams, ideas. One thing we always spoke about is the fact that there's no Shaka Zulu movie in South Africa.
Yeah.
And at that time, again, it's like something you spoke into existence.
Yeah, no, I've always known.
So in Boloya.
Angloy, my brother. I don't know if people want to call it a gift, but you know, I think there's a power to certain. People call it manifestation, they call it whatever, you know. Yeah, but I think there's a strong power in just having a conviction about where your life is going, and not just it ending there, but you actively doing things. So I remember, like, even in varsity, that's when I started gymming. I'm sure when you met me, I was skinny.
Yeah.
Started training, you know, preparing myself for the moment where, you know, a role like this would fall onto my lap. So.
And it wasn't even a fancy gym. It was like a couple of bars, weights.
Yeah.
And gents just really gymming.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people went to after Joburg. You went to Cape Town,
yes,
so did
sir.
I. A lot of people might say that's a disadvantage. What was your experience back then?
No ways. After Cape Town was definitely more of an advantage, because that's where I think both of our careers began. And Cape Town's a safer space in a sense that it isn't...
Safest place, Kapstad.
No, in terms of the mainstreamness of the industry. I mean, you started an internet radio.
Yeah.
Imagine if your first radio gig was national and you had those skills you were packing back then. You got a chance to sort of sharpen your skill
and
before you
better,
get to,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Before I got national, which I was.
Come on now. So I think Cape Town was nice in that sense. I know while I was studying, we were working in community TV, CTV, which was kind of across the road from the campus.
Yeah, Cape Town TV, shout out. It was a good platform for a lot of people to sort of practice.
So we got to practice a lot of our things. I mean, there's some skills that I haven't used yet, my presenting skills, which are, I believe,
oh, you were a
extremely
presenter
fun.
too?
Oh my God, one of the best.
Damn, I should be worried.
Yeah.
The student model chef, we're currently making steak and pepper. Ooh, imagine, I almost said kidney pie. He's busy with the onions. They look absolutely fantastic. Please also chop up the mushrooms.
Will do.
What I've done is I've added a little bit of butter. Let that melt, and now I've thrown in some beef. And basically I'm going to throw in a chunk load of pepper because it's salt and pepper. Garlic makes everything taste better. In fact, it just might make the world go round. Now, back to you, Mr. Tsipa.
Yes, sir. How do you want these chopped?
You know what?
Quarters, thin
Quarters,
slices?
please. Let's go for quarters, because I like being able to taste the mushroom.
Yeah.
The smaller your mushroom is, the more it's going to disappear. The bigger it is when you bite into it, that watery flavor is just going to take you to flavor time, man.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, man.
Yo.
Lost my train of thought.
No, this onion is having me right now.
I thought he said he wasn't going to crack
No,
it. It stays in the water.
I made it through.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you guys noticed. Usually at the first cut, I think it was that second onion, I didn't soak it fully. But yeah.
Yeah, most people that are not really into movies, Netflix and stuff like that will say they know you from Shaka.
Yes,
I
sir.
know the journey's been happening for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
You've done a lot of international movies.
Yes.
Shit, which one do I want to question you first? Let's go to the one where you had two really big names. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that
Idris
one. Yeah,
Elba. I think it was called something Tower.
The Dark Tower, yeah,
The
yeah.
Dark Tower.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
big, bro.
Yeah, no, I've shot a couple of those things. So back to the Dark Tower, the weird thing is that's also one of those manifestation situations again, because I remember at AFTA, there was a film being done in Cape Town called Long Walk to Freedom that was being shot
Idris,
with Idris as the lead.
Yeah.
And then one of our lecturers, Mrs. Rusi, who was lecturing television at the time.
Megan Rusi, yeah. Shout out to Megan, yeah.
She told us about an opportunity to be extras on this thing. She was like, no, they're filming this thing, they need a TV crew, whatever, for one of those Mandela news scenes. And I volunteered, I jumped up, I was like, what? And they were like, you're getting paid? I was like, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
So we get there to the set, and because I kind of understood set a little bit, I knew the places you can hide, what to say, where to be, you know. So during the rehearsals, I was like hidden, because most of the time they clear the room with the actual crew when they're lighting and whatnot, and then when the cast comes in, they let the cast rehearse, and then at the end they let the extras in.
So if you're not supposed to be there,
You
get
must
out.
leave.
And they usually scream that before start shoot.
Yeah.
If you're not supposed to be here, get out. Yeah.
So I finessed my way into staying the whole time.
Are you serious? Yeah.
So I got to watch Idris's rehearsal, I got to watch him perform a scene, and immediately as he was leaving after performing a scene, I stopped him by the door before his
What?
bouncer, and I jumped in front of this dude, he's a giant. And I was like, dude, in the next 4 or 5 years, I'm gonna work with you. And the Dark Tower was that. And
Are you serious?
yeah,
bro?
and now we share an agent in the UK, so you know, things have been manifest.
Damn.
yeah.
Okay, Dark Tower happens. I've watched a movie with you, local movie. Forgive me, I don't remember the title. It had Upra Israel, and
I've
you
done
were
3
a
with him.
gangster.
I was a gangster.
You weren't a gangster, but circumstances forced you to become a gangster, and you end up SAing a girl that you grew up with, a white girl.
Oh, Amandla, yeah, Netflix.
Woo!
Yeah.
That movie was buck.
Yeah, no, that movie is very dark. Like, it's so sad. Everybody that watches it is always crying after. They're like, wow,
Yeah, it's like,
why
what
is
the
that movie so
hell, man?
sad?
What the hell?
But I guess it's in the context of apartheid. I mean, the lives of a lot of black people. I'm sure we had our pockets of joy, you know, in our hardship, but a lot of people didn't have the happy ending. A lot of people didn't make it to the 94 and see the dream.
Yeah.
So I think that story kind of represents those people and those stories.
the other stories that are out there.
Yeah.
Now, people don't know this, but while we were living together, I would always be blown away because you would have the nerve to turn down roles for TV shows most people dream of.
Oh, yeah.
What's your reasoning behind that? I won't mention what shows it were.
Yeah, please don't.
Or was, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of shows that you turned down. What was your reasoning behind that, bro?
Well, I don't know, man. I think I had Muneen Lee as a mentor from a very young age.
Wait,
And-
sorry. The
Yeah. So she's an obvious genius at what she does. And she really advised me into picking your roles to craft a career and not just working from paycheck to paycheck. So
Picking your roles to craft a career.
yes.
So break that down. Essentially selecting your roles with a bigger plan, not just for the purpose of getting a...
Yeah, because
Next
certain things can ruin your career. I mean, our industry is one of those unfortunate ones where if you do something that's truly terrible, that's what will remain in people's memories, as opposed to the good.
everything else.
Yeah, you can do 10 good movies. You do one proper bad movie. Everybody is always going to reference that. So she really tried to help me understand the business and understand scripts and really discern where projects are going. So things that won't suit me, I'm not going to necessarily say they're all bad or whatever, but certain things that don't suit me or what I'm trying to build, I've learned to say no to.
So you seem to have the ability to get people to believe in you.
Yeah.
Moneen, that's from Class Act, right?
Yeah.
Angus Gibson, another person I had the pleasure to meet through you,
Yeah.
also has a huge respect for you or what do I say, belief in you.
Yeah.
How and why do these people meet you and are drawn to wanting to work with you?
I think it's my dedication to the craft, and obviously meeting them is part circumstance. You know, I don't think I can fully take credit for all of those things. Like Munina, I met her because my previous agent in Cape Town told me she was in town and she was a great casting director to meet, and she needed help with
reading
a particular
lines,
reading thing. So that's how we met. We initially met on Class Act, but I never really made it in that show. I don't know why. But
what number did you go? How far did you go?
I made it to top 40 in South Africa, and that was it.
Imagine, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it was like I wasn't even supposed to be there. So after the first round of auditions, I didn't make it. Leeds and Mav went through to see the judges, the one that's going to play on TV. So ngabakapa to the thing, and then when I got there, I was like, I found the producer. I was like, there's no ways you guys have made a major mistake.
For those who don't know, who's Leeds and Mav?
Yeah. Oh, Leeds is the Savannah guy, Mav is from Reka.
Savannah
That's what
guy.
they call him. I mean, he's done so many Savannah commercials, but he's like one of the commercial kings in South Africa.
No, he's the commercial king.
Yeah.
Umev has done a couple of productions as well.
Yeah. But I think the most renowned one is the Emmy Award nominated Reka. It's not a.
Oh yeah, you guys were both on Reka, right?
I was on the season which wasn't nominated for an Emmy. He was on the Emmy
that
nominated
was.
season.
Okay, we'll figure out more, Shaka.
Ish, matara.
Alright, so I mean, you do this acting thing, you got
Yeah.
the big roles, you got the agency, you're turning down roles because you're trying to define a particular career.
Yeah.
What does that career look like? Is it eventually accepting something like Shaka, or is it pulling an Atandwa Kani and going on overseas?
No, I think, you know, our industry is one of those where you can't really predict. I've never been one to want to force things. I mean, obviously, most people want to end up in Hollywood because it's, as the analogy I make, it's the Premier League of what we do.
Yeah, it's Hollywood.
Yeah. So the goal is obviously to end up there one way or another, but I don't see myself forcing it out. Like, I don't see myself trying to move there and, like, you know, hustle my way in. I think the industry we live in is so beautiful now because everything is so interconnected. I mean, one Netflix project that's a smash can potentially showcase your work to all the directors, you know, in the world, and they can call you from this side. There's a few people that's happened to, you know, already. So for me, it's one of those things. Also, our career is unlike sports in a sense that the shelf life isn't reliant on my peak in my 30s.
Oh, your six-pack.
Yeah,
oh,
it can.
That's debatable.
Well, it can happen in your 40s. It can happen in your 50s. You know, like even Dr. John much later. I mean, he's had a great career his whole life. But I mean, really the last 10, 15 years have skyrocketed for him, and he's worked on some of the biggest projects in the world. So I think
Dr. John is killing it way more than he was back when we were in school.
Sorry, Black Panther, Captain America, The Lion
What did he
King,
do there?
Mufasa. Oh my God.
Dr. John, what have you been doing? What do you do?
Who gave birth to the Black Panther? Who's the Black Panther's father?
Oh, Dr. John Gani.
Yes.
I thought you meant Dr. John from school.
No.
That's what I'm like, what?
No.
It's a different Dr. John.
Dr.
But
John
yeah,
Kani.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you now. Yeah, definitely Atandwa's dad.
Yeah.
Atandwa's
also
dad.
known as. So for me, it's that, man. I've definitely got big dreams. I think my next chapters is getting behind the scenes and creating work for myself and my peers, and obviously the generations also to come after us. And yeah, we'll see where it goes, you know, from there. But yeah, I've definitely got plans, but I don't wanna spoil.
You don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. I know. You'll see, guys. Talk to me in 5 years.
All right, so far we got the beef cooking. It's looking really good. Again, the ingredients are really simple. Pepper, salt, a little bit of garlic. It's cooking within the flavor there. Mr. Tsipa's got the mushroom and the red onion finely chopped. We're gonna let this cook for just a bit, and in just a bit we'll keep it moving. It's Tulz, not a chef.
Yes, sir.
All right, so bro, as I was saying, you've managed to build a good relationship with some pretty heavy people.
Yeah.
Manine Lee, Angus Gibson. I remember we met when we went to go play. I think it was Isibaya versus
It's Timbies.
It's Timbies.
Yeah.
Tell me about your relationship with him. I mean, he's a guy who's done so much. He's what he is, those Timbis.
Yeah.
Guys, Lam, Zone 14. You name it, it raised you. He made it.
Yeah.
How do you become the man he loves and appreciates so much?
So I met Angus through Monine. I just moved to Joburg, and she was like, I think it would be a good thing for you to meet this guy. And I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely heard the name, obviously, growing up loving films. So I had breakfast with him, and it was very strange. He's a very unique character, you know what I mean? He's a man who takes quite, long pauses in conversation. It was my first time, interacting with him, and I never really I never knew what to expect. So we had this breakfast in Malvo, just chatted, and he told me about this film that he was interested in.
What restaurant?
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar, they closed that.
Yeah. No, man, R.I.P. So we just had an interesting chat about a film he was trying to get done. I think they were coming off the back of The Road, and he wanted to do this period piece kind of set in a similar time with those sets. So we had a conversation about it. He asked me if I'd played a villain before, and at the time I hadn't played anything dark, and I was interested in exploring that. So he kind of looked at me curiously, and yeah, something in his mind made sense, and then that's how Back of the Moon was born. And initially, the character I played, which was Ghost, was supposed to be played by the great Warren Masemula, but he was shooting Five Fingers of Marseille, which opened the opportunity.
Which was also a dope movie.
Yeah. That was, South African films were definitely in their bag in that period.
Sorry to cut you, Makeba, awuswele lapho ukuthi.
Awuthengizwe nje inyama yakwaXhosa ukuthi iphekwa kanjani. Nabe iyoke le mfowethu.
The switch is so crazy. As you can see, the meat is well browned. I'm gonna throw this off to the side. We're gonna fry up our mushrooms, red onion, and then eventually create one whole amazing sexy gravy. Yeah. So there that goes, so it can cool down.
Yeah, so I was saying about Angus, we met there, shot that film, Back of the Moon, had a really, really great time. Yeah, boy. Had a really great time, and I think that gave birth to conversations about, I think a year later, they started a new telenovela called Ilembe. And that's where I got to play the character Bambata.
Yeah.
Which really was the first time I got involved in something that really was widespread across South Africa, because I think the biggest culture we have here more than cinema is television. So that was a TV show that played, I think, initially Monday to Thursday, and then it eventually played Monday to Friday. Yeah.
People know you.
Then I started taking selfies with people. It's just, my life kind of flipped a bit. And then years later, then it transitioned into Shaka.
Let's get into Shaka, bro. They say every good story starts with, so there I was. Where were you when you got the call that said, hi, we're interested in you auditioning for the role of Shaka? Did you audition at all?
Yeah, definitely auditioned. So while Shaka was a long time in the works. Literally from the days of his Ilembe. So I remember one day in between sets on his Ilembe, so a whole bunch of us were like, anybody who had abs basically was told, go downstairs, wear a parachute, we're taking pictures.
Oh, six-pack niggas down. I wasn't gonna be there.
No, but then obviously we saw the story. It's not just about, six-packs or whatever. But I think at the time they were looking for a Shaka role. So at the back of my mind, I kind of knew, they never really were specific about what the project was and who the characters were, but wearing a parachute, I'm like, come on, man, what else, could it be? So at the back of my mind, that kind of story percolated for years with nothing really concrete coming of that. And then a couple of years later, I get a call from Angus, and he said, look,
Years later?
Years later. I think they planned the show for about 7 years.
Are you serious?
I took that picture probably 2017, and then I probably got the call 2021.
And who's calling you?
Angus.
Uti?
He's like, Lemo, there's this project we're doing. I'd be interested in seeing you for it. And in typical bomb fashion, the first round of auditions is never scripted. It's always
like how you gonna move yourself? Really?
Yeah.
So they just want to see how you can move before they give you the script.
Get a sense of whether how you are in front of the camera. Because some people have interesting looks, but they're boring in front of the camera. Other people are not that interesting off camera, but once the camera points towards them, they just kind of
Or you can't
come
think
to
on the
life.
spot.
You know what I'm saying? So all these things. But I think, yeah, he has a deep passion for improv. They called me in for some improv sessions, did it. And yeah, I had a blast. And then from there, the scripted part came, which was the more challenging part of the auditions, because the language in it was a bit heightened. It's not the regular Zulu we speak on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of
not what's up?
yeah. It's a lot more. You know what I mean?
I thought one word I'd hear there was Shandis.
Aye, Lutho.
Did not hear Shandis whatsoever. I didn't hear Zulu say, I said, oh, let's say, oh, Shandis. He said, how much? Zero. Yeah. You get the call, okay, first round, what happened? Break it down, bro. Like,
No, so the first round, I mean, it's a couple of people that come through.
who else was in line?
Yeah, I can't say.
One name, come on!
No.
Shaka Zulu, like, you want to know who your name is,
No,
dog?
I'm protecting those guys. I'm protecting those men.
Can I
but
guess?
there was a lot. I won't confirm nor deny. You're welcome to guess though.
No, then you're welcome to carry
There's
on.
only one Shaka now, so there's no need to take it back there. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of very, very talented people. I was obviously extremely intimidated. It's people that you see, you know, on everyday TV. There was also like a bunch of new faces. But also in the first round of auditions, nobody was auditioning for any particular character.
Yeah.
You would just kind of assume by somebody's look and age range, okay,
What
this guy's
they,
about...
what they going for?
Yeah, and they're 40,
yeah.
so I don't think they're gonna go, you know, for that particular role or whatever. But yeah, almost everybody that is a Zulu actor, Jogo, came through, or Zulu speaking actor, came through and auditioned. So you can just imagine the room. It was everybody on TV.
Okay, what did you have to do in that audition? What was the process?
It was the improv, as I said. So Angus was just making up weird scenarios. He kind of comes up with them on the spot.
Like, there's a spear coming at you. And and then say something powerful.
Yeah. So it's like always kind of catches you off guard, but I think it's kind of my comfort zone because you're aware of it. And after it was a large part of our training to like
to
that
be ready
improv
for
style.
whatever.
Yeah. So it's definitely up my ballpark, and it was something that I hadn't explored in a while. But yeah, I had fun doing the improv thing. I don't really remember much of what I did because all of it kind of comes in the moment.
Yeah.
And then I just remember the second part of the auditions, the second round, was the scripted one, where we were kind of reading for all the different characters. And I remember reading for the praise singer of Shaka, and wow, that's when I thought, okay, maybe...
The praise sing.
The praise singer. You know, the guy
okay.
that's
Yeah.
like as he pulls up. So they gave us a speech from that dude, and oh my word, it was like a page of this Zulu where, and the crazy thing about vernac is that like in English, the longest word you'll see on a page is maybe like 8-9 letters. Unlike a regular, in Zulu, you'll see a thing that takes up the whole line, and it's one word, and you're still trying to pronounce it, find, you know, where it sits. A lot of the words I was discovering for the first time, so like halfway through reading the scripts, I'm calling, you know, like my mom and like people from back home, yo, nah, Ishadis, there's the word.
Ishadis,
yeah. And then they'd kind of explain and give a bit more context. But that's when I kind of lost a bit of confidence in
doing the role.
role. But I think the thing that reaffirmed it, I think in our last year of living together, remember that German project that I nearly got?
Yeah, where you were practicing speak. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I for those who don't know,
yeah, give context.
I got this brief from my UK agent that there's this film in Germany that's happening, and they're looking for the lead character. So she asked me if I speak German, and naturally I lied. I said, yeah, I'm very fluent. So she actually she sends the script to me. Now I have the script in front of me. I'm like, damn, now I need it. Yeah. But luckily it was December, so I learned this German thing and I just sent it. But in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm just doing it, you know, just for fun, whatever. They're probably just gonna think, who's this idiot? Do they not give me a call back? I'm like, okay. Do the call back virtually, and then I did all the way to top 3. They flew me to Germany to do this role. So I remember that experience. So I'm like, okay, actually, I got pretty far in a language I literally don't know. So it's something I grew up with, even if it's challenging, if I dedicate enough time to it. Because I think the thing that made it challenging, particularly that speech, they gave it to us when we had arrived there. And they wanted it like 10, 15 minutes later. Now to memorize a word that you've never seen or heard in your life and, you know, deliver it believably and not, you know, sound like we kremile is a different challenge. But once I reflected back on that experience, it kind of really gave me the confidence to know that I could pull it off.
What's the biggest Zulu word you learned?
Hey, my brother, you're putting me on the spot. It's hard to think of.
And that means stop.
That sounds more closer. No, I don't know. I need to watch it to really point it out. Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a few words that I learned that I had never heard in Bangladesh since I was born.
You're gonna tell me about the time I came to your crib and you were cooking, but here's a quick update on what we're cooking right now. Mushroom, onions, salt, garlic, similar vibe to what we were doing there, but now the onions are caramelized, they're soft, you can see it. It looks incredible. So now I'm gonna pull this off, take that meat that I had there, throw it back into the pan, and then I want to boil this for a bit, because you don't want to have a pie that's very tough.
Yeah,
right?
It must be. You must live the soft life.
You must live the soft life.
Yeah.
I came to your crib once and you were practicing a Zulu song. So clearly the role of Shaka wasn't necessarily about knowing the words.
Yeah.
But there was more to it, you know?
Yeah.
What was it like on set, bro? You guys had some of the biggest names in the industry.
Yeah, no, I think it was, the experience on set was incredible, man. It's one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. I don't think I'll ever be in a place like that again. It was just, you know, I don't know how to define it in words, but it's kind of like got a very spiritual kind of element to it. I think it was a project which, because you're honoring the stories of people that have actually walked on the earth.
People that have lived.
And there's a lot of people that had encounters with their characters in that sense. So there was definitely a nice spiritual electricity kind of happening there. Just the magnitude of what it means for South African filmmakers, you know, and knowing that you are part of a historic piece which, you know, comes literally once in a lifetime. I think the first Shaka, when it was done, I wasn't born, so this is the first Shaka that's happening while I'm alive. So that's a big deal, you know, in that sense. But generally, you know, it was just one of those spirited shows where everybody, for the first time, believes in the project. Zero to no people are complaining about anything, even though we're working in some of the toughest circumstances.
Toughest circumstances?
My brother, the weather, you're naked outside.
And you shot this in KZN, right?
No, here.
Really?
My dog. We definitely got some scenes done in KZN, but the majority of the shoot was done here.
Yeah.
And just to give you context of how cold it was, mornings there, the grass is frozen. And this Shaka has to walk barefoot because he said, yeah, really.
And you can't be there shivering.
My brother, you're in Tsipa there with the goosebumps.
Acting like,
it's 4 a.m. in the morning.
Bro, Nomza Mombata as your mama?
Yeah, what about her?
It's Nomza, dog.
Yeah, she's...
Tande, dog.
She is Nomza.
Hey, Nomza. What was that like? What was that like, bro?
It's an incredible experience. I think she's a outstanding performer that's just been, you know, growing in leaps and bounds. And I think when the project finally happened, I think she was just, you know, starting to reach this new level of artistry, you know. And I've always been a massive fan of hers, but I think at that time I really, she's just so good. So it was super dope. I was caught in moments where I'm starstruck.
Starstruck by her performance?
No, by just her presence, man. She's such an incredible woman, and like when she's one of those, you know, it's a cliche thing to say, but walks in and lights up a room kind of people, you know. She's got a very infectious energy. She's very like loud. She greets everybody. She's bubbly.
I was gonna say that. Like I've had the privilege of meeting Nomzamo at Y. It was like a day before Women's Day, and she came with another celebrity who I won't mention, but she got there and the first thing she did was greet everyone.
That's what she does. She's just that person.
Yeah, and you can tell Uti, it's not like I'm doing this because I have to.
Yeah.
But we are being LA. She
Yeah.
greets, and I also appreciate that about her. Sorry, but you were still saying.
Yeah, no, so I was very starstruck. Just like, oh my, this is the Nomzamo Mbata. But she also,
was equally starstruck.
I wouldn't say starstruck. She had just kind of maybe seen one or two of the things that I'd done. So it was just a really great experience to bounce off of each other's energy and yeah, I was really excited to see where she was going to take the role, and I think she did an incredible job with it.
Craziest moment on set, craziest moment off set, and by offset now I want to sort of speak to about. You know how people took you. I've been with you to parties and people are like, oh, Makeba. There's one guy who even tried to remove me. Oh, I want to go.
Yeah.
Hey, nigga, I came to the party with the nigga. Yeah. So let's first with on set. Craziest moment, something you experienced, or something that you can say is worth sharing without sharing too much, because obviously you gotta.
Yeah. So I think the craziest experience on set was definitely, well, I don't know if I contextualized it, but we shot in winter. And the craziest experience I had was the scene where Ukendenyane, which was Shaka's stepdad in his teen years, Shaka gets Kendenyane killed in battle by rushing into a battle. Kendenyane tries to save him, and he
It becomes a whole thing.
Yeah. So anyways, the scene is after his death, and Shaka's like mourning him and thinking about, you know, what he's gonna say to his mom, and he's trying to drag the body to bring it back home.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah. Sorry, for people who haven't seen Shaka. Yeah.
So, I just remember dragging. So firstly, shame for him. He was covered in blood. He has to lie lifelessly on this frozen grass for like 5 beats.
Frozen the whole time.
No, dog, it's like, we have to ADR the scene, which is like re-recording the dialogue, because every step is a crunch. It's like,
really?
It's that, bro.
But why shoot in winter, bro?
Because there's no rain, so.
And if you shoot in summer, every day is gonna be hot.
And also
rain.
where we shoot, it's so deep in the bush to be away from urban things that the trucks won't be able to get up the hills and the mountains, and you know, everything's just gonna be a chaotic mess. And the roads will just get worse as we shoot. So we have to shoot in winter just for logistical reasons.
Yeah.
So I have to drag this man's body across this thing and then fall onto this rock. And I remember as I sat down to fall, my bare shoe lifted up. So I was raw dogging the floor, ice.
So wait, under the bare shoe, there's no underwear?
You must watch the scenes where we gear and get back to me. Where the leg goes up.
So it was just slanging left, right, and
My
center.
brother, it is.
So what if you packing? Like if you're a nigga like me, what kind of like do they have like extra large vest shoes and shit? You know?
No, there is a situation to handle.
Niggas like me.
Us.
Cause I saw you had a skinny jeans pair shoe there.
No. I had to. It's a double fold. My wardrobe takes about an hour. Just to, you know, get things tucked in the playing. So, no, there are undergarments that we do wear to make sure that the show stays at an 18 rating and not 21. But yeah, I just remember falling onto this floor, which was frozen, and then my back touching this rock. And in that scene, I was supposed to cry, and I just remember crying for real, because I was just like, why am I here, dog? My mom was right. I should have been an accountant, like, you know. We were suffering. So for me, that was literally one of the wildest moments on that set. And I think one of the wildest moments off set was weirdly at a concert. I went to go watch a Java show when Java and Big Zulu were doing Inkabzezo tour. Yeah, so they were doing the tour, I think in Sunbet in Pretoria. And the guy who was managing me at the time, I was there with him, and he's like, no, it would be good, because we were trying to just work on the whole Instagram, you know, thing, because you know me, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. So he was insistent on me.
You never did.
Yeah. He was insistent on me getting like content for that thing. So I'm busy standing there, and he's like, no, get closer to the stage, closer to the stage. I get closer to the stage, and as I get to the front, I turn around for the picture. The song ends, the lights come on the audience. I'm in the front.
So they see you.
Yo, this lady grabs me, bro. Somebody's mom. Young bamba by the neck. And she's trying to kiss me. And I'm like, no, oh lady, please. What's happening? Like, I don't.
At least
No.
just for
my brother.
respect.
No.
Okay,
No.
ma'am.
No. The most she'll get was some cheek action. So, so I went, as I turned my face, and then after she sees me, she starts screaming. So there's a whole commotion. And then Java looks down, he sees me. He's like, oh, Ilembe. I'm like, oh, gosh.
Java also wants to pick.
No, he calls me, he calls me onto stage, bro.
Yeah.
Yo. Now, I'm all for supporting the dude, so I go up there. I went up, greeted the people, you know. But the thing was, immediately after that, the concert wasn't done, but I told my manager, dude, I'm like, let us go now.
Because it's only going to get worse,
Yo,
bro.
so as I tried to leave, people stopped me because they saw me like exiting backstage, and then I just took pictures, I think, for an hour and a half. Like,
Just pictures?
Just pictures. My face was painful, bro. Like I couldn't smile anymore, you know. So yeah, that was one of the craziest moments off screen.
That's a blessing, bro.
Yeah,
God is
definitely.
good. God is good. Quick update with what we're preparing.
Yes, sir.
As you can see now, the mixture of the mushrooms and the steak has come together. The pepper, it's all looking really, really good. I've lowered the heat so it slowly thickens. Now we need to prepare our pastry.
Let's do that.
I've never baked. You've ever baked before?
Yeah, I'm a good baker, bro. I've never baked for you. I make bread from scratch.
You made deep fried boiled eggs, son. I don't trust that. But let's see.
Cap.
Can you cut up some slices for
No,
us?
but I bake. I don't pastry.
What? You use a big pastry to bake, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm making minang shama keke, shama.
So basically, we need to cut up into sort of squares or rather rectangles.
Okay.
I did pure matte slit, so it's a bit tricky.
Pure matte lit.
Yeah. It's matte slit, but it's pure.
Hey, Eastern Cape. It's going down.
The real matte slit.
So okay, how big are we going? Give me a size.
I would say basically find your halfway guide is this way,
Okay.
right? And then it's 1, 2, 3. Because you want to create them and then fold it over.
Okay,
Fold
copy.
it over.
Oh, so we're gonna do twins, two, like top and bottom, like
I think you're
top
speaking
bottom.
some of that shit. What do you mean? Number twins, I two. Aren't twins always in twos? Somebody help. We're doing number twins, I two.
Yeah.
Bro, okay. Again, this is gonna be my opinion, and you're probably gonna say something that's humble. SAFTA's come around,
Yeah.
and you're not nominated.
The right people were nominated.
You think so?
Yeah. What? Tim Kosi.
Look.
What do you
don't
mean,
get
bro?
twisted. I'm not taking anything away from Tim Ngozi. I think he's brilliant. Whether it's adulting, I mean the movies are endless. But did you not want a nomination or?
To be honest with you, man, I'm not. I've never. I don't do it for the awards, bro. Like for me, it's more about the impact it will have in terms of like historic. Like I'm interested in working on pieces that have impact on culture, have an impact in time. The awards thing, it's whatever. Like the last award I won, as soon as I got it, I gave it to my mom. Like I literally am not
It's
attached.
not like I gotta. Yeah.
No. I mean, kudos to the people that do, really are invested in those things. But for me, it really doesn't add much validation to the career that I'm. Yeah.
How's the check though?
The check? What check?
The shmoney, that bump. I'm sure that's what the ATM says when you go there. It's like, was it good?
Side.
And I'm only asking because you've done international gigs. So, is it as good as your international gigs?
No. It'll never. I don't think anything can compare to international gigs because the type of money is.
It's different.
It's different. So I'll give you context. So while we were shooting, is this size? Let me just double check. Is this size enough?
So that's going to be one, eh? Because
Yeah.
this one is going to be used as the cover for
Yeah.
that one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
So I don't think SA money can reach there because number one, the exchange rate is just
It's different.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember while we were doing our Shaka, there was another American Shaka that was being done, and the rumor is that our entire budget, which is the highest budgeted show in the history of the African continent, like there's no
Highest budgeted show in the history of the African continent.
yeah, and our whole budget was their episode 1.
What?
Yeah, just to American money, bro. I mean, you look at big, like when you go on the highest end of blockbusters, a film like Avatar, they spent $250 million US, which I think is what we as a collective, as an industry,
are worth.
The whole industry of South Africa is one movie.
And they make it back.
Quickly, bro.
Which is what's crazy.
Quickly. So I think we're definitely in a renaissance of the shift in culture in terms of how much expenditure we put into our projects and how much we make back from all this thing. I think the business is definitely expanding, but I don't think it's comparable to the great American industry as yet.
So I only bring up the SAFTAs because you're right, the people that were nominated were brilliant.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was sort of downplayed, bro. To not only look the part, but play the part and kill the part.
I appreciate that. I'll take the street credit awards, but
I know the streets are here and they talk, but nothing taken away to anyone that was on it. The production was fantastic. I think Tembingosi himself was fantastic.
I keep telling that boy, he's so brilliant.
He's beyond words, and it's crazy. It's like the more humble, or the more gifted you are, the more humble these people are, you know? And he's definitely one of those people.
Yeah.
Just so you can see a quick update, that's thickened up. How does that look, bro?
Super thick.
Rice into a fan.
Yeah.
Steak. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is let this cool down. You don't wanna make a pie while it's piping hot. We're gonna continue with the pie pieces or the pastry slices. We'll see you in just a bit, yeah? It's Dude, I'm not a chef. Trust me, we're cooking up a storm. We got Lemogang, Tsipa in the building.
Yes, sir.
We're making pepper steak pie. While you were gone, we prepared our pastry. We've got our pastry. We're supposed to actually have a baking sheet. But dude, I am not a chef. You could be out there trying to prepare a meal. You don't have a blender. You don't have a fridge. I don't know what you're gonna do. Hey, mama, hey!
Times are tough.
Yeah,
but you have Wi-Fi.
Marune Wi-Fi! Which is why you're subscribed, liking, and sharing. Let the people know out there. Let's assemble our pies, bro.
Yes, sir.
So this is the base. This has been in the fridge cooling down for the past 10 to 15 minutes. So we just want to pour a little bit of it. Not too much, otherwise the pie is it'll break, you know? But you also don't want those pies where you have to take 8 bites before you get to the meat. Alright, okay. I done egg washed all of these. We're gonna throw them in the oven for a good 20 minutes. And then before you know it, maybe even 15, because we preheated the oven. And it's a Samsung oven, because we are at the Samsung design quarters.
A few moments later.
Ooh. Damn.
Mine's not hot. That looks pretty fire.
King pie, get
Yes,
out
sir.
the way.
Yes, sir.
And Shaka pie.
New kings in town.
All right, we came, we saw, we conquered. It's hashtag Dude, I'm not a chef. We had a great conversation with Mr. Lemogang Tsipa.
Yes, sir.
And now we got our pepper steak pies. Which one you want to grab, bro?
I'm gonna try that one.
This one here?
Yeah.
All right.
Put a elbow grease and love in there.
Even without pastry paper, look at that, that's a proper pie.
Which reminds me of that.
I would recommend you take a little second for it to
No. I can see that it's man's not hot.
Man, it's definitely not hot. Okay, no. Give it a shot. It's gonna be really hot.
I know Shaka walked on coals, but I'm not shooting right now.
Taste it. Nah, just
Yeah.
blow it out.
Let's see.
Okay, usually on the show we get our guests to come through and name the pie. We did a lot more than just add pepper to the steak, so what you gonna call it?
So, inspired by the Shamrock, I'm gonna call this the Shaka Rock.
The Shaka Rock. When is season 2 dropping?
I can't say just yet, but it is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Please stop bothering me on my Instagram and my Twitter and start asking me. I'll keep giving people a funny answer when they ask me. I tell them,
I saw you even did an Instagram thing.
Yeah, I told them, like SABC 7. So, for those that want to know, it's playing on SABC 7 tonight, but for those that are patient, next year sometime.
Next year sometime. All right, let's give it a taste and see if we really do know how to cook, or if we can't. If we can't, we're not chefs.
Hey, Sizwelana, want a piece with some
What
pastry?
about the pastry? What's your pie?
You want a fork and knife, bro?
How you luma? This is how it's easy is take a bite.
Yeah.
What's your rating? How is it? Not too shabby?
I'll give it 9 spears out of 10.
Hey, I thought you were gonna say Mbulalin.
Yeah.
Just like that, man, we wrap it up. Homie, thank you so much for putting
Shout
out.
out, though.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Drink, don't drive, stay alive. We'll catch you on the flip side.
2025, please, guys. Let's make it.
Yeah, dude, I'm not a chef. Brat, it's true.
Except the hamba nezam velungang lu. Tete lindo te yese kasi mina ngingung.